All right, you guys, for those of you who don't know, we do a little bit more than just reptiles here. We do also do some little sugar gliders, and this is our first baby that we've had. And unfortunately, we lost the mother right after she was born. And so her eyes have finally opened on the baby. And so we have been taking care of her, though, for a few weeks and been bottle feeding and just doing everything we can to make her happy and healthy. And her eyes are open, and she has been climbing around and getting out and doing more. So it's kind of cool to see her continuing to grow and get strong. But it has been a little bit of a journey for us. We did a bunch of research on stuff and tried to figure out what was the closest thing to milk that we could give her. And so been, like I said, taking care of her. We started doing from a paintbrush just because she was so little. And when they nurse on the mother, they put the nipple in their mouth and it swells up to fit their mouth. And so you can't really get that from a bottle. You can't get that from a syringe. And so what we started doing was putting it on the tip of a paintbrush and letting her drink off of that. And now that she's gotten a ton bigger, she can take it from a syringe with no problems. A lot of times when they're real little, if you do a syringe, you can risk actually drowning them with it. And so she's been just an absolute little trooper for us, and it's growing and really cool to see. We wound up using I looked up a bunch of recipes online to try to find a good replacement. And she is just, oh boy, come here. She's a little spaz. Come here. We wound up doing everything I read said to do Pedialyte because dehydration is an issue, and then to make sure that they have plenty of supplements. And so we did Pedialyte, and the other one that came up on a whole lot of them was doing Vanilla Ensure. And so I've been giving that to get the calcium, or not calcium, to get extra calories and everything from that. And then as she got a little bit bigger and got her eyes open, we started adding some sweet potato baby food and some chicken baby food after that to the mix to give her more protein. And then today we started adding in a bunch more calcium stuff, basically the same supplements they get on her fruits and veggies every day. So she is just doing awesome. Like I said, her eyes are open, she gets out, she explores, she does her own thing, and she is absolutely precious. So it is, unfortunately we lost the mother, but this is actually kind of cool because now we have one that is super sweet and tame and absolutely loves us and loves seeing us, which is always fun, especially when we have kids and things like that and they're wanting to play with her. She is used to us. We reach our hands in there and she jumps on us and is ready to come out and get food. So it's kind of interesting to see too. It's been like I said, kind of a long process, long few weeks with her. We had to cancel some plans for spring break, couldn't go anywhere overnight, but it's been totally worth it. And these guys, when you start feeding them, it's all like dealing with kittens where you have to stimulate them to go to the bathroom after you feed them. So that's kind of the only nasty part of it. I have to rub her down with use a warm paper towel, and she goes to the bathroom pretty quickly, and that's it. But she is, like I said, she's doing awesome for us. What'd you just do?
We made baby sugar glider food.
For what?
Our baby sugar glider.
What'd you put in it?
Baby food.
And what else?
Protein shake.
And what else?
And that's all I know.
A bunch of other stuff too, huh? So how do you know if it's good or not?
You don't?
You think you should maybe try it just to make sure it's good enough for them?
Okay.
What if it tastes bad? Does it smell okay?
It smells good.
Yeah?
And bad.
Well, taste it. See what happens.
Ew.
No?
The first taste is good, but then it tastes like chicken.
It tastes like chicken.
Mixed in with like goodness. So
Chicken mixed in with good? That sounds pretty darn good. That's like KFC right there. All right, my friends and family, cold-blooded army, happy Easter to you all. It is absolutely a wonderful time of year where we celebrate everything that we celebrate that makes us who we are. Christmas is a big deal, but Easter is much, much bigger. And so there's so many different religions that talk about having a virgin birth for their God, but we as Christians are the only religion that celebrate a true, living, risen King. And that is what we celebrate here at Easter. So while you're celebrating with your friends, while you're having fun with your family, I hope that you are enjoying them to the max. What I will say, one little takeaway for the day, I was thinking about this with communion the other day. When Jesus serves communion to his 12 disciples, he serves it to Judas. Judas, who betrayed him, who sold him out, who said, "You're going to die because of me." Jesus looked him in the eye and said, "I love you, I forgive you, and this is for you. My body and my blood are going to be shed and broken for you because I love you." And sometimes around the holidays that gets hard when we start dealing with family and people we don't necessarily want to see and we're not very fond of. But if Jesus can look the person in the eye that sentenced him to be beaten and broken and ultimately murdered and say, "I love you, I'm doing this for you, and I forgive you," can't we do the same for our families? If you guys ever have any questions on anything, if there's anything I can do for you, please feel free to reach out. I'm always here for you. Hope you have an awesome, incredible week. I love you guys. May be blessed to be blessing those around you. We'll catch you next time. Sitting out here watching my kids get ready for an Easter service that they're doing where they're singing and dancing, and I know I did an Easter message, but it just kind of has me thinking about, I guess, all the good stuff that God does for us and what Easter means and what it really means. I know kind of talked about, obviously, the resurrection, and if we didn't have that, we wouldn't have anything in our faith. And sometimes we seem to forget that the death, the resurrection, the ascension into heaven, the promise that he's coming back, it was done for all of us. It doesn't matter how many times we screw up, man, because I've screwed up a couple of times in my life. It never matters. God's love is enough. There's no condemnation in Christ. He loves you so much, loves me so much, that he was willing to die for all of us so we can live with him forever. It's about as beautiful as it gets, man. Happy Easter. I love you guys.